Imagine someone typing on your website, but instead of logging in, they trick your server into giving up your entire database. That's the power of an injection attack. In this video, we'll break down what injection attacks are, how attackers weaponize them, and most importantly, how you can defend your systems. Injection attacks are like tricking a computer into running someone else's commands, usually by abusing input fields like login forms, search bars, or URLs. One of the most common forms is SQL injection, where attackers send malicious SQL code into an input field to manipulate a backend database. So how does an attacker even know to try something like that? Well, here's an example process they may follow. First, reconnaissance. They start with open source intelligence, using Google Dorking or tools like WhatWeb, Shodan, or Cloudflare Radar that can tell you what technologies are in use, like SQL databases, or ports that are open. Pages with a URL that end with things like ID = 2 are a goldmine for testing, as the ID parameter can be changed. Second, input probing. They inject simple characters like a double dash or 1 = 1 to look for odd behavior and SQL errors. A condition like 1 = 1 is always true, so this can bypass certain authentication mechanisms. If the site responds with an error or with details, you know the target is responding to input. 3, you're then fingerprinting the database. By testing different payloads, you can further identify the technologies and even the versioning to find vulnerabilities or tailor commands or the tooling approach. And 4 is exploitation. Once confirmed, they can either use tools like SQL Map, an open source penetration testing tool, to automate detection and exploitation of SQL injection attacks. They can dump database tables, bypass logins, or even delete tables. Or an attacker can use a command like this. Those double dashes tell the database to ignore everything after it and attempts to trick the database into checking only the username. If a user named admin exists, this will return the record, bypassing the need for a password. This is not just theory. Attacks like this have exposed millions of user records over the years, from government to e-commerce platforms. Now, let's switch sides. How can the defenders stop this? 1. Always use input validation and parameterized queries. Only showing certain characters and using secure coding like tuples and parameters mean that values must be matched. Number 2. Web application firewalls, or WAFs. These can detect and block suspicious requests, like ones containing 1 = 1 or SQL keywords. They can also filter and block access to certain ports, certain technologies, sites, or even geographic locations. Hiding error details is number 3. Don't give attackers clues. Generic error messages stop them from learning about your back end. Number 4. Monitor logs and your alerts, using seams, for example. Look for telltale signs in logs, repeated login failures, unusual parameters in queries, and known agents like SQL Map. Number 5 is least privilege access. Even if someone breaks in, they should not have full control. Lock down database accounts to only what is needed. Injection attacks are powerful, but preventable. With the right defenses in place, you can stop attackers before they even get a foothold. Drop a comment below and subscribe to Security Warden for more cybersecurity breakdowns.